Welcome back, everybody. Another edition of Wrestling in the Basement. Thor and Brian tonight. No Dukers. He's around here somewhere, but he's not co-hosting this evening. He's kind of mad about it. Actually, he's sitting right behind us. Like, what the fuck, man? I'm supposed to be the host of the wrestling show. He's kind of pissed Brian's here. But either way, so no cute dog, but we got a shaved Brian, which is, cute. You know, I guess, if you say so. Whatever your mom tells you, just go with that. But we're doing Wrestling in the Basement, Raw 718 edition, or Raw What the Fuck is what I'm calling it after that. So we started off, let's get right into it. We started off with the GM announcement from last week. So Stephanie's running Raw, Shane's running SmackDown. They each have to pick a GM. Stephanie picks Mick Foley, which is an interesting choice. And then Shane picks Daniel Bryan, which is, I kind of got spoiled over the weekend on the internet, but whatever. I was cool with it. I don't love the Mick Foley choice because I would have liked somebody. I understand the Mick Foley choice because he's going to connect with the crowd the way Stephanie doesn't. I also would like someone maybe different than Daniel Bryan because he's going to connect with the crowd too much like Shane already does. So where's the dichotomy of the, the different personalities and stuff like that? So I would like to see something else, but I'm cool with what we got. It is what it is. Drafts tomorrow night. Brian won't be in attendance. Dukers will be back co-hosting the draft with me. We're going to watch it. It'll be amazing. But so that what opening segment, anything?
Like you said, I mean, honestly, I'm cool with both of them. I'd say probably more cool than the way you sound, but at the same time, when you said that Shane should have picked Triple H, I was like, he really should have.
That would have been
awesome.
that would have been amazing. Not only sticking it to Stephanie, but that would have been. See, that's why I was a little disappointed.
But he's running NXT though.
He's got NXT. He's got the cruiserweight. Oh! Also in the opening segment, they announced that there's going to be a cruiserweight division back on Raw, and it's going to be a Raw exclusive. So I'm thinking new Cruiserweight Championship belt. We got the Cruiserweight Classic going on in the WWE Network. That Kota Ibushi match. I'm telling you, if you didn't watch it, get on that shit. It was amazing. Watch my video about it. It was amazing. That's all I'm going to say. But yeah, the opening segment was fine. I like the GM picks. I understand why they made these picks. So let's see what happens. I mean, let's see what happens tomorrow night. Once tomorrow night hits, we're going to have a lot better idea of the direction of both of these shows. I, for one, think Raw's going to stay pretty much the same. It's going to be what it's been for a while, and today was another mediocre show. But last week was pretty good, so I think it's going to be hit or miss. I think SmackDown, however, is going to vastly improve.
Yeah.
Oh, so we got, let's go over this real quick, too. We got Raw rules for the draft tomorrow night. Raw gets 3 picks to SmackDown's 2. Tag teams are together if picked unless specifically specified by the general manager that they only want one of them. I always said Raw gets the first pick. Raw gets the first pick, so they get 3 to SmackDown's 2. They stay 3 hours. SmackDown stays 2 hours. Good move. They should have shortened Raw by an hour and made that 2 hours and SmackDown 2 hours. It would have strengthened both shows. I'm just telling you. 2 hours apiece. There's going to be 6 NXT people drafted, so 6 spots from the NXT roster. So Finn Balor definitely coming to the main roster. I called it on the show that you weren't on. Me and Dukers.
Yeah,
we called it. We called it together. But yeah, so there's the rules for tomorrow night's draft. Then we got into some matches. We got Jericho and Owens versus Zayn and Cesaro. We've seen this match a few times, actually. But this was another solid performance. Cesaro and Zayn won. Zayn pinned Jericho. Yeah, I like
Jericho rolled
Zayn. And then he countered it and then rolled him up. Okay, so Zayn and Cesaro won. I like it. It was fine. I'm ready for Owens versus Zayn on Sunday, which we're not watching live at least because I have a concert. So no Battleground, but you're getting a Raw and you're getting a SmackDown this week. So you
got a lot last week,
and you got a lot last week. Gave you tons of content. The Raw and SmackDowns might slow down. I'm just gonna give you guys a forewarning. Wrestling shows have become way too much a part of my life. So wrestling in the basement might just go to pay-per-views again. We'll see. Special events, if it's something worth talking about, I'll shoot a video. If not, I might just stop doing every week, especially because I don't think I can do Monday and Tuesday concurrently and the occasional Wednesday. And if I wait just behind the scenes, if I don't do it Monday and Tuesday night or Wednesday, and I wait to do it Wednesday after NXT and do all 3 shows, let's be honest, there's 30 other videos you could watch that are all going to recap what happened the 2 days prior. So I'll let them motherfuckers get the views. But check me out. There'll still be plenty of wrestling in the basement. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's done. I'm just saying I got to slow down a little bit because it's more than I anticipated. And then we got Del Rio versus Darren Young.
Yeah.
Darren Young won. I don't really know about this, him and Miz feud. I liked his win last week, but it's not working for me.
No.
Thursday night didn't work for me. There's a bunch of stuff that just hasn't worked for me, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know.
This is where it realistically started getting boring.
A little bit.
After the first announcements were like, okay, cool. Gonna be a good Raw.
And then the Jericho Owens Zayn
again,
Cesaro
like
match.
you said, it would have been fine. It's just we've seen it like 30 times.
And that match was Then we got Cena comes out, does his little thing. Then Enzo and Cass come out. How you doing? Then the club comes out. Then New Day comes out. And then Dukers. Talk.
Puppy issues.
What the fuck? You gotta talk or something.
What do you want me to talk about?
Keep talking about Enzo, Big Cass, and that stuff.
I'm not good. You can't put me on the spot like this, man. I'm not good at freestyling. Honestly, I loved that little promo that they cut with them, just because I feel like the way they're playing John Cena works super duper well, because he's like the normal guy to Enzo Cass and New Day's like weirdness. And he's the guy who's like, what's going on right now, dudes? Like, I need you to calm down. Whereas they're just like all crazy. Because I think if you had Cena being crazy, it would just be too much. Because Enzo Cass and New Day are already a little bit much together. So without that John Cena kind of bringing it back down to normal levels, I think it's a little too much.
All right,
you know what I mean?
Sorry about that. Shit happens. I mean, that was weird. Sorry, my dog was like having
really
a panic attack or
really
like
mad.
Backwards sneezing or something like that.
I'm really mad he's not in this episode.
He is. He's so upset he's causing a scene. So sorry about that. But yeah, the Enzo Big Cass stuff. Yeah, it was funny how he was like the curmudgeon old man in that, and he just was like, I don't even get what you guys are doing. And then they did
That was the cops.
Then they did the Pokemon how you doing stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going on around here all of a sudden. That was classic. And they're like, we're only doing the originals though, so we got 136 to go. And then Cena steps in again. Then the Wyatts came out, they cut to commercial break, came back, we got a match. It broke down at points. We got Strowman versus Big Cass a little bit. It was a good match. The club ends up winning. Enzo accidentally hits Cena because they're gonna win on Sunday,
Right.
Which then is because then they have to win on Sunday because then Styles and Cena have to have one last match against each other solo at SummerSlam. So to pull this off, you have to have Cena, Enzo, and Cass win on Sunday. So then Cena's never gonna win clean over Styles.
Right.
Styles technically doesn't win clean over Cena, and you got a 1-1 thing going. But yeah, that match ends. It was whatever. It was good. It was a good 12-man tag team match.
Yeah.
Realistically, there were a lot of good moments in that match. There was a lot of good action and stuff like that. Then we got Baron Corbin versus Sin Cara. So Sin Cara and Kalisto split as a tag team. That was announced on WWE Network. Corbin wins. Nondescript match. Kalisto did come out to try to save Sin Cara when he was getting beat up at the end, and he got vicious hit from the back of the head and like face hits the ground by Corbin. So that was a good spot. This kind of was a nondescript Raw. I mean, just because it was so much, although you have a championship match at the end, which we'll get to. Actually, you know what? This is my problem with Raw. You take the first hour and the last hour and you're like gold. That middle hour is 99% of the time junk.
Yeah.
Just junk. And that's my problem in a 3-hour show. Cut that middle hour out, tighten it to 2 hours, boom, boom, and you're done. Like, it's not that hard. I could do this shit. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. So then you got Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Dana Brooke and Charlotte. They won by disqualification because Natty came down and interfered. For no reason should that have happened. They should have had a full match. I literally ran upstairs to change laundry and then heard the bell and I was like, what the hell just happened? That was like 5 minutes. This is the problem. They're not giving women the run on time. You got a 3-hour fucking show. You can't give these girls 15 minutes? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
But you can give, how much time to backstage crap and Shane talking to Big Show and Shane talking to, the Golden Truth crap. Come on, seriously, get with the fucking program here. Then you got Rusev and Sheamus versus Ziggler and Zack Ryder. There's a lot of tag team matches.
Yeah, that's
you had a 12-man tag team, a lot of tag team matches, very few one-on-one matches tonight.
They're saving them for Battleground.
Yeah, Rusev Sheamus ended up winning. Whatever. Again, nondescript.
I love Rusev, but this was not one of his more. I mean, it was just sort of a match. There
Zack
wasn't
Ryder's not. I'm not a fan of Zack Ryder that much. That's what I'm saying. With Darren Young versus The Miz and Zack Ryder versus Rusev, these feel like old, not new era feuds. These feel like old, boring era feuds. Mm-hmm. And we can't have that shit. We just can't. So then you got Foley and Daniel Bryan in a backstage segment. We stepped outside for a second, so there could have been something else that we missed, but Chris said that was all that was been going on. They were talking. It was friendly. Then it was competitive. They're trying to push this whole brand split is more like each show's going to push each other. Mm-hmm. And we'll see if that happens. I hope it does. But I still think the same creative group and Vince running Raw isn't going to change Raw, but yet bringing over the head NXT writer and Shane O'Mac to SmackDown's only going to really improve SmackDown.
Yeah, but
maybe even surpassing Raw at some point.
But if it starts surpassing Raw, it's almost like Raw would have to up its game. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. I'm hoping what it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
They push each other. You know what I mean? Instead of just both being mediocre at times, which is I don't know. We'll see. Tomorrow night's a big night. I'm telling you. I'm excited for tomorrow night's video. I'm sad he's not going to be here.
I'll still keep up on it. I'll still Google it.
He will. You won't be on the episode, but whatever. You'll be around. So then main event. Rollins versus Ambrose. Great fucking match.
Yeah.
They put on a hell of a show. I mean, those two.
That was almost I wouldn't say it was like a main event pay-per-view match, but that was probably a pay-per-view match.
It was close to a main event pay-per-view match. I mean, you're talking about a WWE Championship match.
Right.
Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose. They went 35 minutes total with the breaks and stuff like that. It was a very long match. And then they just fucked the ending completely up. Both people's shoulders were down. The ref got knocked out, but counted the 3. He's laying in the corner for 20 minutes and can't get up to who the fuck to explain who won after he just rolled over and counted the 1, 2, 3. So then Stephanie announces Rollins as the champion. He walks out with the belt. WWE sends me a notification on my phone, watch WWE Network to see the aftermath. We turn on WWE Network. It's the Cruiserweight Classic. I'm not disappointed, but it's not what I was looking for. So I don't know what happened. I'm sure they'll talk about it on Raw. There's ideas going around this household that it's a way for them to vacate the title until Battleground, so there's no champion tomorrow. It's a way for them to split the title, so then you do have the 2 different titles. I honestly have no idea what they're going to do. I don't know if they know what they're doing at some points. All I know is they screwed a good match with a horrible ending.
But it's not a pay-per-view match, so the ending is not as important in this match.
Actually, it's a little bit even more so. With Battleground looming, with the draft looming, I can see it was a shitty way to make no champion for tomorrow's draft. Okay.
I mean, for how often referees get knocked out, I think the ref wasn't even knocked out necessarily as much as knocked over, then counted quick because he saw people's shoulders were down. I mean, it's way more believable than the referee being knocked out for 30 minutes and not counting 6 different pins.
True,
you know what I mean?
True. So,
and I like that it was freaking. We're not sure who actually won, so no one looks stronger or weaker than the other one.
Right. Well, and Stephanie announced Rollins. So, I mean, for right now, I guess Rollins is your WWE Championship? Question mark, shoulder shrug?
Hell yeah.
I think it's Ambrose. But either way, tonight's Raw, B minus. B minus. I should.
If you cut out that middle, like the good matches were pretty solid, but
there was too many nondescript. Think about the whole middle. You know, between Del Rio,
you don't even have to mention them.
Yeah, Del Rio, Corbin, the women's, the Rusevs, all that stuff, all the backstage stuff. So you're talking the four shining points: the opening, the Jericho, the Cena, and the Rollins stuff at the end. That's a C. That's a C plus maybe. I don't know. B minus. I'm sticking with my B minus. You got a grade?
Yeah. Honestly, I'll just give it I'll give it a B minus too. Honestly, that's because those matches that were good were solid matches.
Yeah, they were.
Like we said, that last match kicked ass.
They did.
But you can't have boring match, good match, boring match, great match. Things
Wait till they have half the roster. Who knows what you're going to get at that point. That's what makes me a little bit nervous about this brand split. But we'll see what happens tomorrow night.
Honestly, I think it'll give them more time, so we won't have to have so many B matches. You know what I mean?
Aren't you get tired of seeing the same people over and over again at a certain point? It'll be fresh for a little while, but
but it won't feel like people just disappear off the face of the planet for
that's true
2 months, and then they all of a sudden come back like they're the best wrestler
because Apollo
ever.
Crews didn't even wrestle tonight. That's right. I mean, you're right. There's too many superstars that don't wrestle on a week in, week out basis because they just don't have the space. Or they end up wrestling on SmackDown and we just don't see it because we don't watch SmackDown. But tomorrow night we will. So, tune in tomorrow night. Draft coverage. Thor, Dukers, No Brian. Episode 62, Star Wars Celebration Roundup. Coming up next. Probably be up tomorrow? Question mark, shoulder shrug. But the Raw video is going up now. So, until next time, deuces.